So today is November 18th, 2022. You there's the arch dog, the arch villain. Yeah. You going out? And as you can see, winter is here. Yeah. So the last couple of days, doing a few odds and ends, I got my water line hooked up to my tank back here, and actually pumped a little bit of water into it. You can see the tank there, and you can maybe see the water level there. It's about a third full, maybe not quite. But yeah, got that all hooked up and working, so that's good. And up here, I got my laminate on my countertop here in the galley, and I made life more difficult on myself than I would have had to have. I could have, this is 12 feet long, and I could have I had a joint here, and I just really didn't want to put a joint on the top of the laminate. So what I did was I glued the two pieces of plywood together, and then I put a butt block, and you can see that in there. And I did that out here, and then I moved it, well, then I had a couple tables set up over here, had my laminate laid out there, got the glue on it, put the glue, or the laminate, glued it onto the plywood, and then I trimmed it with a router, and then I moved it onto here, and there wasn't a whole lot of room in here to do that. So it made it difficult, but we got it, and there's no seam here now. So I couldn't screw through the top of this to hold this onto the framework underneath, so I put some little blocks under there and drilled some holes. Here you can see some that I didn't use, but I got just screwed those on and then ran a screw up through the bottom. And it worked all right. And again, what I'm planning on doing here is putting a backsplash here, probably a piece of oak or whatever backsplash here. Then I'm going to put little shelves in between here and whatnot. Leave a gap here for airflow. Try to leave gaps everywhere I can, and I'll probably just paint the insides of the frames and the insides of the planking. But yeah, this turned out all right. I don't know. I didn't custom order this. This was a Formica that they had in stock. The building center had in stock. I wanted to go with something that's a little bit lighter in color, not so terrible dark. So I don't know. I guess this is sort of a marble type of look to it, but yeah, it should work all right. And then in here, you can see I did my, oops, one of the cats knocked over my cup here, it looks like. You can see here I did the plumbing for this fourth tank, a tank in the back, and that's going to be this one right here. And it's just the same as all the others. It's open right now, so this water system that's feeding that sink down there is running off that back tank now. But here's the little loop that we can fill it, and to fill it we're going to have to take water from the forward tanks, any or all of the forward tanks, and pump them back there. Right now I took half or 2/3 of this tank here, the aft of the forward 3 tanks, and pumped it back there. And I just got a loop coming from the pressure side, which is here, and that hose just runs around and into here. So then when this is closed and this is open, we'll just pump water through the system out of whatever tanks I have selected here to the back. That way I can fill these forward tanks, and as I'm filling them I can run this pump, and it, pretty quickly fills up that aft tank. So yeah, that's all working just fine. I didn't see any reason why that wouldn't work, and it is working. So I could have gone a step farther and actually, you know, put another manifold, kind of like I did in the fuel system. So I could have moved water from any one tank into another tank. I didn't really see a whole lot of advantage to that, other than, you know, this one tank here. But that just saved me running extra lines aft is what it did. But yeah, it's all hooked up and working, so that be good. And everything else is still fine in here. These fuel tanks have fuel in them, and the fittings are all doing fine. They're not leaking. So I don't know what to work on next. I mean, you know, I could do any amount of work inside here. You know, the more work I do inside, the better it's going to be to get it done now as opposed to later. But I kind of want to get the hull going again too. So I know a lot of this work is really piddly. But I did want to do just a little bit more plumbing. I want to get my faucets in here and get the plumbing to the sink here done. And you know, I'll need to put a sink in in the head here too. But so yeah, we'll see. I might actually start working in that aft cabin a little bit, getting the head framed up in there, because that's also going to be the support for the mast. I'm going to need to build up from the keel up to do I'm going to do a deck step mast. So I need to get that supported underneath the mast, and I'm thinking the shower is going to be my support for the mast. So I need to get that worked out and figured out what I want to do. But yeah, I'll do a little more work in here and get the plumbing done in here. I'll probably set it up so I can actually use this sink now too. But yeah, it's going well, not getting huge amounts done. Like I said, everything is kind of putsy on a boat, but you fiddle with stuff a lot more than you actually get stuff done. But anyway, it's going all right. So yeah.